What's going on, everybody? My name is UnUsual, and I'm from Union City, New Jersey. So I've always been into music. I remember as a kid, I used to kind of be more attracted to like the instrumental part of certain songs. So I would sit there and try to dissect the song as a whole and just kind of try to find out where this hat or this kick will come from, or like where this snare was built or the sample. So I was always into music. And yeah, I just got into music because I was always so attracted to the sound aspect of it. Instrumentation, I guess. When I was in high school, my boy Sincere put me onto Fruity Loops and Cool at it. I was just fascinated by the creation of the instrumentation in songs. When I got to college, I knew that's kind of what I wanted to do, but it wasn't until 2008 where I was this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Before that, we used to freestyle, try to make songs. I used to suck. I knew I was better off sticking to the instrumentals. So at the moment, I'm using the Electribe from Korg. I'm using Ableton Live 10. I'm using the SP404A for live performances. For a while, I was rocking with Ableton, and I was bringing around a MIDI controller, and it was just a lot to carry. I was carrying that plus cables. I was carrying chargers, and I felt like the sound quality coming right off the laptop wasn't good enough. So I had to start bringing out an interface. So I just felt like it was too much to carry. So the SP404A allowed me to just bring that one piece, have all my beats in there, have the effects, and it just made everything a lot simpler. It's a lot easier to use too, so. I used to sample. At the moment, I'm not sampling. For the chords that I'm using most of the time, I'm using this plugin called Tidal, which allows me to kind of press any key and it generates chords for me. And then I just use a different plugin from Complete to get those chords. I don't sample. Reason being is because I really don't want to deal with having to clear anything later on. So if I'm not playing it, or if I'm not getting it from friends of mine that are hitting me up with sample packs, I don't like to sample for that reason, because I don't want to deal with the repercussions later on. I don't know how to read or write music, so if I'm using a chord and let's say it's A flat minor, so what I usually do, I know it's dumb or whatever, but I usually look up that scale, and then I will put post-its on my MIDI controller, and I know these are the keys that I have to use or whatever. It's been working out so far. So eventually I kind of want to learn how to play the piano, but so yeah, that's what I do right now. So no, I don't sample. Don't do drugs and don't sample. I'm just kidding. So I started performing about 2 years ago, 2.5 or something like that. I used to go to a lot of the beat house shows. Shout out to Fresh Daily and Pudge. They decided to do open aux, and I just showed up, plugged in, and then after that, I kind of just started doing different shows. Yeah, that was the beginning of everything. So I'm gonna say about 2 years ago, 2.5. Man, beat culture is so dope, and it means so much to me at the moment. Us being producers, not a lot of people get to listen to our stuff. So for us to have a designated crowd that's super into that stuff, it's amazing. So at the moment, it means the world, man. It's a chance and an opportunity for me to meet new fans, meet people that are like-minded. It's basically where you go to get inspired, where you go to make new friends, new fans, new family. So I love it, man. In a nutshell, it basically saved my life. There's been so many times where I felt if I felt depressed, or if I felt sad, or I was not in a good state of mind, hip hop was always there. Growing up is basically all I had. So whether listening to a dope song or listening to different producers and try to get inspired, it has made all the difference in my life, at least. Like, I love it. So every single day I wake up, I'm thinking about music 24/7. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like super important and special. So beat culture is definitely like life-saving. I mean, a lot of people, you know, they tend to say hip hop is dead, you know, but they don't go to beat shows. You know what I'm saying? They don't go to these dope shows that take place at night or during the day where producers are just like pouring out their hearts and playing dope shit that people can't even imagine how they did that. So the beat scene right now is super important, and I just want people to understand that hip hop is not dead, and the beat culture and the beat scene is bringing that back, like super powerful. Like, yeah, I didn't know like New York was so heavy into the beat scene. So when I started, you know, doing little shows here and there, and I started going to more shows, I was like, man, this is really something special. It's big. So I felt like I've been missing out. Like, man, this has been around all this time. Like, where have I been, you know? So my goal ultimately is I want to have like my own label. I started baby steps. I created an LLC. I got one act under it, Dark Alley Echoes. Shout out to the ism. But yeah, my goal is just to have a label of just like dope producers and rappers and artists, singers, you know, and just like push people out that are passionate and into the art like myself. At the moment, I have a couple projects out. I got Wasted Talent. I got Bacon, Egg, and Beats, Cuatro Golpes, and Bad Batch. You can find that in most streaming platforms, also on SoundCloud. But yeah, ultimately, like the goal that I see like the beat culture having is basically to bring more people out, bring more producers out of their shell, to perform and to show people what they do. There's so many dope producers that I know that are like scared to come out and play this stuff for people. So I feel like the goal for beat culture will be that, you know, to just get as many producers doing their thing and just unity, man. Like beat culture is getting unified by the minute. Like so many different collectives, you know, a lot of collectives are coming together as one, which is powerful because that's the only way we're going to grow as individuals, as artists, as producers. So that's what I see the goal for beat culture and myself.